Sister asked me to babysit her kids for a week while she went on her honeymoon and promised to pay me. Later she told me she was staying longer and would not pay me because I should consider it a wedding gift, so I called CPS on her. My sister, 33F, and I, 28F, aren't very close, but I still agreed to babysit her kids while she was going to be away on her honeymoon, simply because she offered to pay me a bunch of money for it. She told me that she would pay me $1,500 for watching over them for a week, since her usual babysitter had fallen sick and she needed to make some last-minute arrangements. I agreed, because it seemed like a good deal. It was just 3 kids, and they were old enough not to fuss over everything. My sister has been married twice before. Neither of those marriages has worked out, but she has 3 kids in total from both of those marriages. The twins, my nieces, are 11 and the youngest, my nephew, is 6 years old. So they are not that young, and I thought it would be an easy job, which would pay well, so I took it up. The first week was quite easy, but then, when the weekend passed, and she did not turn up, I got confused, so I ended up calling her. She did not respond for the first couple of days, but after a week and 3 days, she finally picked up my call and informed me that she and her new husband had decided to spend a few more weeks because they fell in love with the place they were spending their honeymoon in. All of a sudden, I realized that I would be stuck with these kids for a month, and it was simply not possible for me because I had only signed up for a week. When I told her that, she told me that I just had to deal with it because the kids did not have anywhere else to go right now. My parents live in another state, and her ex-husbands are not very involved and wouldn't appreciate being contacted. Neither would I know how to contact them because it's not like we've kept in touch. Anyway, I started panicking, and I told her that I couldn't do this, and I just wanted my money and for her to take her kids with her. But then, she dropped another bombshell on me and told me that she was not paying me for this. She had told me that she would because she knew that otherwise, I wouldn't agree, but I could think of this as a wedding gift. And then before I could argue further, she hung up on me and did not respond to me afterwards. So then, in the heat of the moment, I guess I did something a little rash. I ended up calling CPS on her very same day, just a couple of hours after the phone call because I was furious that she would do something like this. And that's when things got very out of hand. So since then, my family has been quite upset with me for doing something like this, but I really don't know what else Elle could have done in a situation like that. And for me, it was not about the money, it was also about the fact that she had just left the kids with me without caring about whether I would be able to look after them for almost a month or not. I had made it very clear to her that I would only be able to spare 1 week for them because after that, I would have to get back to my regular work schedule. I do work from home, but it's still work at the end of the day and having kids around is distracting. So her behavior on the phone call really annoyed me and that's why I decided to call CPS, and personally, I don't think that I did anything that bad. Because after the visit and all the interviews and everything, I still agreed to keep the kids with me until she came back. She was contacted, and she returned within a couple of days to pick up the kids and the investigation is still ongoing. But since there is no pattern of stuff like this happening, it's very unlikely that she's going to lose custody of them. In all probability, she's only going to be let off with a warning and mandatory parenting and counseling sessions. But my family is acting as if I ruined her life by doing this, which is, in my opinion, really unfair. They really don't see that what she was trying to do was also unfair to me, and I think my parents shouldn't be so one-sided with the judgment. I feel bad, so I'm here to ask if I have done anything wrong. Ida for calling CPS on my sister because she lied to me about the babysitting arrangement. Edit. Okay, so a couple of things. My sister has full custody of her children, and they only get to see their dads once a week every month. This works for them, and since I'm not very close to her, I've never asked about her divorce or whatever. All I know is that she gets child support from both dads. She has plenty of alimony to live off of. It's not like $1,500 is a big deal for her, and she can totally give me what she had promised. Besides, I attended her wedding to her new husband a couple of weeks ago. Everything was pretty grand and I knew that her husband and his family had paid for everything. I knew that he came from a business family and they did pretty well for themselves, so I don't understand why my sister was being so stingy about the money. And as for my parents, it's never been a golden child situation with us. I would just like to clear that up for everyone in the comments. My parents never had any preferences, they were pretty much equal with both of us. So I don't know why, all of a sudden, they're acting like this with me. They have been guilt-tripping me constantly for the past couple of days, and it's been very difficult to talk to them and have a real conversation. I've tried to explain my side of things to them, but they don't seem to care about it at all. They are just stuck on the fact that I called CPS and they think that I was being malicious on purpose. They didn't realize that I had no way out of it, and I couldn't afford to look after them for a month for free. I'm a freelance UI designer for a startup company and I do have to do a significant amount of work. And for this 1 week, I was doing most of my work in the evenings and at night, so I could make sure that the kids were taken care of during the day. This is not a sustainable way for me to live, though, so I couldn't keep it up for 1 month and especially without pay. It's not like I make bucket loads of money at my job. I have a moderately paying job, and if I were able to look after these kids for a month, I would have to take into consideration the amount of groceries, utilities, and everything else that would increase my cost of living. I don't understand how they expected me to just let this happen without factoring in my personal life and issues. I feel guilty that I called CPS, but I also feel really bad that they are not thinking about me and what I might have gone through it all here. I don't know, I honestly just feel crappy about everything right now. Update 1. Hi, so thanks for all the comments. It's been 2 weeks since I posted and the CPS investigation is still ongoing, and my parents are not speaking to me. I had a fight with them a couple of days ago, because they were trying to guilt trip me again, and they were somehow trying to get me to speak to the CPS officers once more and make it sound like I was being malicious on purpose, and I had exaggerated my claims. They did not seem to care that would probably get me in trouble, they just cared about getting my sister out of trouble, and it was really hurtful. So I told them that I was not doing that, and I just finally snapped and told them that if she was being investigated by CPS and they hadn't concluded their investigations yet, then there was probably a good reason for it, and instead of wasting their time looking for ways to blame me and make me the villain somehow, they should probably talk to their eldest daughter and tell her not to be such an entitled and miserly brat all the time. They said that I was being selfish and thoughtless, and they told me that they had tried their best to get me on the right track, but since I was bent on thinking about nobody, apart from myself, they were done. After that, we didn't speak to each other. My sister and I have not spoken ever since she showed up here to pick up her kids after being contacted by CPS, and even then, she did not look at me or even speak to me. Which is a good thing, I guess, because I don't know what I would have said to her. Her husband was there with her too, and he did not look at me either. They pretended like I was not even in the room with them, which is ironic because this was my house. But anyway, I was glad that they left. I was just a little sorry to see the last of the kids because I'm pretty sure that after this, I will not be allowed to see them again. They were sweet kids, and if I had more time on my hands, I probably wouldn't have had a problem with looking after them for a month, provided I got paid for it. Speaking of which, I still haven't received the money that I was promised, and I'm gonna give it a couple of more days before I reach out to my sister and demand it. I know for a fact that my parents are going to be very upset if I do this, but we are fighting as it is. I don't want to compromise the money that I'm owed just to make them happy. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's not a lot of trouble for my sister to spare $1,500, especially when that was what she had promised me herself, so I don't know why it's taking her so much time. If I were in her place, by now, I would have sent the money out of shame, if nothing else. But she's obviously shameless, because even now, she's dodging the inevitable. I'm not gonna let this go, though. I'm gonna get the money out of her by hook or by crook. Because so far, she has stirred up a lot of trouble for me, and I know that she thinks the same, but I think I had a good reason. She had no right to put me in such a difficult spot like that, all of a sudden, and then expect me to be fine with it. I was feeling guilty about having called CPS on her, but now, I don't feel that way anymore. She did this to herself, to be honest. And my parents might be feeling very sorry for her, but I'm not. They don't know the way she spoke to me on the phone, and I tried to explain that to them, but they had already made up their mind that I was the bad guy here. So fine, I'll play the part if they want me to. Update 2. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since my last update, and today, in the morning, I finally decided to reach out to my sister, and I told her that she needed to cough up the money that she owed me. In the message that I sent her, I made it very clear that I had done what she had asked me to. I had looked after her kids for 1 week, exactly what our deal had been, and now, she had to hold up her end of the day and give me my money. I waited for a couple of hours, and then, while I was working, she sent me a reply, saying that I was a fool for expecting anything out of her now because what I had done was unforgivable, and after that, if I still expected her to pay me, then I was simply delusional and stupid. She said that I shouldn't contact her again, because I had already created a lot of trouble for her, and she was too busy sorting out the mess that I had created for no reason. So now, she was done with me, and we had nothing to say to each other. It was pretty annoying because that might have been the case with her. She didn't have anything to say to me, but I did have a lot to say to her. So I tried calling her, but after a few attempts, I realized that I had probably been blocked. But I was not going to let this slide. That was something I had made up my mind about. So I contacted a couple of my friends, and I told them everything that had happened, including the part that I had done, because I didn't want to make it seem like I was whitewashing my own image or something. I was very honest about everything, and even they told me that I had done the right thing, because just because I work from home, doesn't mean that I'm free all the time. Besides, I was kind enough to look after them for 1 week for the amount of money that was promised to me, but that doesn't mean that she can extend it into 1 month at her convenience and then refuse to pay me. So that validated my feelings, and when I asked them to help me out here, they gladly agreed. I told them to text my sister and call her on the number that I had provided them with, and demand that she pay me for the babysitting thing, or else I would be going public with this, and that would be even messier than whatever she was in right now. For a while, I did feel like I was going too far, but honestly, this was not even about the money anymore. This was about what I was owed, and I was not going to take any BS from my sister anymore. We already had a very strained and mostly bad relationship, and she had decided to test it unnecessarily, so now, she had to face the consequences, and that's it. Update 3. Hi, so it's been a few days since my last update, and for the past couple of days, my friends and I have been trying our best to get through to my sister so she can feel at least a little ashamed of herself and give me the money that I'm owed. In the comments of my last post, a lot of people were telling me that I was taking things way too far, and if I didn't desperately need the money, then I should just drop it. But I think I've made it very clear already that it's not about the money for me. I mean, not just about the money at least. It's more than the money, it's about how I've been treated by my sister all my life. I've mentioned quite a few times by now that I don't get along with her well. The only reason we even attend each other's events and staff and stay cordial with each other is because we don't want to go public with our bad relationship because it would be embarrassing for our family, but right now, I really don't care about that anymore. My patience has been stretched as soon as possible, and I can't keep pretending to be fine with her. It's not just about the money, it's about what a horrible person she has been to me for most of her life. Growing up, she bullied me a lot, to the extent where I would end up crying every day because of the horrible things that she would say to me. It was not just about my appearance, she really came after my intellect, my personality, my lack of a social life, and made me feel so unconfident and stupid that I started isolating myself. This was back when I was in middle school, and this continued well into high school, while she was in college. It was not until her first marriage and the birth of her first child that she stopped bullying me, but even then, it's not like she apologized for anything that she had put me through. One day, she just started pretending as if everything was fine, and I was forced to play along, because my parents did not want me to dredge up the past. Since everything was going well, I was supposed to act like everything was fine with me as well. And it was hard for me to forget everything that had happened, but I tried my best. Ultimately, though, I have to say, deep down, I never really forgot. And I don't think that anybody else in my position would have been able to forget either, because what I had been through with her, I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy. It was psychologically very draining for me, and in my adult life, I literally had to get therapy so I could talk about it to somebody and get it out of my system. So yes, that's why we don't get along well, but even then, I agreed to babysit her children, just because she was going to pay me. And because I could really do with the extra cash, I took up that offer. The least that she could have done was honor that, but instead, she tried to push me around once again, like she used to when we were kids, and bullied me into accepting her terms. I can tell you guys for a fact that even for her, it's not about the money either. It's about control, it's about pushing me around and belittling me and making me do what she wants. That's what it's really about. The money is just the means to the end. If my parents cannot see that, then they are either blind on purpose or they simply don't care. And it's really not fair to me. It's not fair that everybody is bent on making me the villain here, especially when I'm not. I've always tried my very best to steer clear of my sister. Even when we were younger, I tried my best not to bother her or get in her way, but even then, she went out of her way to bully me. And it's the same thing that's happening right now. She could have just as easily asked any of her friends or whatever to help her babysit the kids. But she chose to ask me, and I should have seen it for what it was, but I got greedy, and that was my big mistake. And now, my entire life is topsy-turvy because of that. My parents are still not speaking to me. I don't know if they will at any point either. And if my sister has told them about the situation with me, demanding the money and getting my friends to do the same because she's blocked me, I'm pretty sure that they will cut me off forever. But I can't afford to care about that right now. I thought that they had always been equal with both of us, but I guess I was wrong. Because they're surely not being fair with the two of us right now, and I really resent the way that I'm being treated by all of them. I have been weighing the pros and cons of going public with this, but now, I think I might have to post about it and pressure her into giving me the money that I'm owed. She does not get to push me around and think that it's fine, because it's not. I'm fine with her not liking me or not respecting me, but I'm not fine with her treating me like this. She doesn't get to do it. So even if my parents get more upset with me, I'm not gonna let that get in the way of what I want now. Update 4. So I decided to finally go public with it. I made a post about everything that's happened so far, and surprisingly, most people are on my side in this whole thing. I have been going back and forth on it for the past couple of days, but after 5 days of thinking about it, I finally decided to do it last evening. And today, in the morning, before I started working, when I checked my notifications, I realized that most of the comments were in support of me. A lot of people who used to know my sister in high school and even in college reached out to let me know that she had always been a bully, that I was not the only person that she has treated like this. And even better, a lot of people in the comments said that she was always hungry for money, and I'm pretty sure that that's true because so far, all the husbands that she has had, all the boyfriends that she has been with, all of them have been rich. I'm pretty sure that cannot be a coincidence. And even if it is, it has to be a pretty suspicious coincidence to happen so many times in a row. Anyway, the money is not my problem, so I don't want to comment on it. But it's the fact that she thinks that she can do whatever she wants and get away with it that really got me in a state like that, and I'm glad that other people feel the same way. I did not expect the post to take off the way that it did, but it has been shared by several people, mostly people who know my sister. People from the family have also been very supportive of me, so I'm very grateful for that, because I actually hadn't been counting on it. I thought that they were going to be supportive of my parents and my sister, but I'm very grateful that they are doing the right thing. If this doesn't get her to feel embarrassed and give me the money that I'm owed, then I don't know what will. To be honest, at this point, even if she doesn't give me the money, at least I'll have the satisfaction of knowing that people know how she really is as a person. And I think for her, that would be the perfect punishment. First, it was the CPS investigation, and now this. I think at this point, I wouldn't mind being told that I've ruined her life because she did the same to me for God knows how many years when I was a kid. And she never felt sorry for it, she never acknowledged it, so I don't feel the need to do it now either. What goes around, comes around too, and I think my parents and my sister will learn that for good now. Update 5. Well, I finally got it. She unblocked me and sent me a message about how horrible I had been to her, told me that I was a loser and I was incredibly greedy and miserable, and that's why I wanted everybody else to feel the same way that I did, because I myself could never find happiness in my own life, so I wanted to make everybody else around me feel bad as well. And so far, I had succeeded, but now, she was going to cut me out of her life, Like I had never even existed, something that she should have done in the first place. She also told me that our parents hate me now, that they don't want anything to do with me, and that they had pretty much planned on disowning me. I'm pretty sure that she thought that this was going to make me feel bad about myself, but it only made me think of the sheer audacity to say all this to me when she was the one who had created the situation in the first place. Anyway, what I really wanted was my money, and I'm just glad that I received that. After sending that message, she unblocked me again, but that doesn't make a difference to me now. Once I had received my money, I took my post down, and I put up another one saying that I had received the money, along with the message that she had sent me. I figured that everybody should know that she thinks that this is all my fault, and I know it's petty, but I don't really care anymore. I think I've suffered in silence enough, think it's good for me to be petty for a while. I've tried my best to be kind and respectful and deal with this in a dignified way, but that has not worked. And I don't think that with her, being dignified will ever work. To win with her, I had to get down to her level, and I don't have any regrets about it. I did what I had to, and I got what I wanted. So after this, if my parents don't speak to me again, I'm fine with it. It's their loss, to be very honest. I'm not gonna keep apologizing for how I feel and the things that I do for myself anymore. I just can't deal with this crap. They have been extremely inconsiderate about me and my feelings so far, so I don't need to care about what anybody else thinks either. I have my friends, and I have a few members of my family at least who are willing to side with me on this. For now, that's enough for me. If they think that I'm gonna come crawling back to them, apologizing and begging for forgiveness, then they are seriously mistaken because that's really not gonna happen. Update 6. So it's been 2 weeks since I got my money back, and I've heard that a couple of days ago, the CPS investigation was finally concluded. And apparently, it's been decided that the children will spend half of the week with their fathers and the other half with their mom, unlike the previous arrangement where they would only get to meet their dads for 1 week every month. I'm guessing this is because she had lied about everything, including the part where she had said that it was the fathers who did not want to keep in touch with their kids. I'm guessing they actually didn't want to do that, but she did not allow it to happen. Anyway, I'm glad that this is happening now. In addition to that, she's also going to have to attend counseling and parenting sessions, and that's it. I don't know what exactly happened. There's no way for me to find out and confirm anything. This is just a gossip that's been going around. But if this is the truth, then I think it's alright. It doesn't matter to me anymore, though. I just hope that the kids are doing fine, but apart from that, I don't care what she is facing or whatever. I think she and my family have caused me enough trouble in my life for a while. I don't want to think about them, and I just want to focus on my work and do my thing. My parents and I have still not spoken, and I've been blocked for quite some time now, but it doesn't hurt much anymore. In fact, I would say that I don't even care. I hardly even think of them, and I'm too busy with my own life to care about any of this right now. I just hope that with time, it makes even less of a difference than it does right now.